so first of all, my name is Laurie. I'm the head of member experience or customer experience for Compare Club. Before I begin, I want to thank Content Square and all the sponsors for having us here today. Secondly, to all of you, I understand we all could be at different stages of our personalization pathway or journey, but I hope you get a couple of hints or a couple of things that would be useful for you based on the process that we just went through in Compare Club. So today I'm going to talk about how steady steps guided us to big wins in our customer-first journey. We like to call it, how did we turn chores into more? Before we start, let me tell you a little bit about Compare Club. Some of you may recognize the brand, some of you may not, and that's completely fine. But Compare Club is a trusted advisor in financial services. In other words, we help Australian households to find the best value by comparing a wide range of financial options. Some trivia facts about Compare Club. We're quite big. Over 1 million of Australian households use us to compare health insurance, life insurance, energy and home loans each year. We have switched more health insurance and life insurance policies than anybody else in Australia. All in all, since our inception, we have helped over 5 million Aussies. And that's a little bit of the data set we have to play with. So it's quite a bit. Our mission is to save Australians. It's a big, big goal as a company. Our mission is to save Australians' households $1 billion. Sounds like a lot, but believe it or not, we're already 1/3 or away there. At Compare Club, as we say, we like to have a crack at ambitious things. So let's get going. And we're going to talk about another ambitious goal that is going to take us here. So our ultimate goal is to be the place where households find valuable advice and can seamlessly manage their finances in a unique way. Before I continue, I want to ask you a question. Raise your hand if you have private health insurance. Okay. Keep your hand up. Again. Keep your hand up if you love to compare health insurance every year and find the best policy. I need you in my focus group. I thought so. So that is why we started thinking, how can we get people excited and turn their financial chores into more? And what is more? Again, not very exciting, as your hands just showed, a very exciting industry. Everyone is very, used to the shiny thing of digital, the nice products, colorful things. We had the challenge of how do we transform a very face-to-face heavy industry into something that could be more online or could be ready for when customers wanted to consume this information and needed more information. So what is that more? We like to call it Club Plus. And Club Plus is a dedicated space for households to seamlessly manage their finances. There's nothing more personal than your household. How you have your health insurance, what extras do you want in your health insurance, your life insurance, like what do you want to disclose during your life insurance, how do you manage the well-being of your family. And we decided to make Club Plus our North Star. Every goal or every project needs an aspiration. Our aspiration was to be able to develop this amazing ecosystem for people to actually go and do exactly that. Get the information, get the education, financial education, which is not easier, and have it all in one place. Through Club Plus, the idea is that we have a personalized dashboard in which people can, upload their invoices. We can actually move more from that proactive or reactive way that we were used to a few years ago, and now more into of a predictive model. Can I do things for you? You upload your invoices. Can we just let you know when we find a better deal? Maybe even outside of our product suite that we manage, maybe you want to put all your accounts in there, call it Netflix or whatever it wants for you to have some follow through. We can tailor data, or we can tailor actually content for your specific needs. And that was the starting point. This was the dream, and this was the aspiration. But I think a little bit of the theme to it today, we knew that to be able to get there, we need to level up a little bit our game in terms of personalization. And I think we all, as marketers or being in this industry, have seen this, maturity curve in terms of personalization so many times. At Compare Club, we were a few years back, we were still in that very push marketing, transactional kind of things, not only from our digital experience, but also in all the other channels that surrounded the digital experience. So in terms to level up, we said, okay, if we want to arrive to that North Star, what we need to do is start layering up our data, start understanding our customers, start understanding their journeys, and how can we actually execute different experiences through this step up or level up. One thing that I want to make, I think it was part of the learning process, and a lot of things that I'm going to talk today is a little bit based on experience and what we learned through the process. And you think that for you to mature in this personalization journey, you need to do every single thing in a very specific step. And it's not the truth. That's not how customers behave. You need to grab a little bit of Omni at the end and mix it with a little bit of, even still some field mapping, and just keep going. You're gonna, all the pieces of the puzzle would fall into place at the end of it, but you have to mix and match a little bit, be flexible. But what you need to do is actually start. So today I'm gonna take you through the evolution from transactional to customer-centric, and I'm gonna put this in 3 steps. Remember, we started very transactional, so how are we actually now building towards that experience to have an autonomous ecosystem and completely hyper-personalized ecosystem so Australians can actually get, let's say, bang for the buck. This is step number 1. I like to call it a 4x4 matrix. But I think it was all about going back to basics. So first thing we need to do was remove all your biases. We all think we know it all. We've been, dealing with our customers for a little while. And sometimes we just have to wipe our minds clean and start from scratch. Number 2 is map your journeys. I think it sounds like, yeah, sure, we all been there. We do this every day. But it's true. You have to map your journeys in two ways. Gone are the days of linear journeys. We now work in pathways, or as I like to call it, spiderwebs. Customers jump around. It's very hard to predict. But we learned 2 things. 1, map your Omni. And number 2, define your high-value action points. And these sometimes, and by high-value action points, I don't mean your metrics of success or your conversion points. Put yourself on the side of the customer. What are their high-value action points in their journey with you? Conversions, revenue, whatever it is that your conversion points are, they will come if you get those right. Number 3 is get your data right. Number 1, start early in your journey to have a unified member profile or view of the customer. Without this, it's going to be hard to stick everything at the end. Number 2 is data hygiene. Your experiences and what you design is only as reliable as the hygiene of the data you have. Number 3, data utilization. And this is, for us, this being a big game changer, having real-time data. And I think Gabriel this morning alluded to this as well. And lastly, be intelligent with your data. How are you going to use it? Get your business analysts, get your data people to walk you through the process, hold your hand. And lastly, voice of the customer is king. The ones that should drive your strategy is the feedback that you're getting from your customers. We have found through this process that having the customer at the forefront of what we do actually drives projects, prioritize projects, lets you break silos into your company, make stakeholders buy in into your projects, but makes you or pushes you to evolve with purpose in that maturity curve. I'm not going to stop too much in this because I think this coming presentation as well, sort of like around this topic a little bit more, but What we found is that to move from personalization to hyper-personalization, there's one word that keeps coming around, and is segment some more, keep segmenting, test, segment again, get your research done, get some, emotion, sentiment. And the second thing that we found is that as well, we all think we are very good at testing. We love our ABAs and our multivariants and all this kind of stuff, but you'd be surprised how many decisions are made with no significance in a test, or with anyone validating if your hypothesis was the right one at the right point of time. So I think we've all heard, like, why we are not doing this? And it's like, oh, we tested that like 3 years ago and it didn't work. Yeah, sure, with how many people? 2? Anyway, well, so get it right, go back to basics, review your testing culture in your company, make them to iterate. Iteration is the foundation of testing, and the more tests that fail, the more you will learn. You need speed. You need to be able to do it fast. Some people call it agile. In Compare Club, we call it get it done and have a crack. Also, get your feedback loops open. Always keep your ears open. It will send you signals. It will show you the way. And most likely, it's your customers that will tell you this. And if you want to tap into more neuromarketing and, understanding why people behave the way they do and things like that, start putting your limbic insights in it. But all of this wouldn't be possible if you don't get your right partners and you don't build a cohesive MarTech environment in your company. For us, we are Snowflake Data Warehouse, which very conveniently have data sharing with Braze. So we have that usability or readiness of the data anytime that we want. We also, in this ecosystem, have many other vendors, such as HighTouch or Optimizely or Meta, Google. All of these come part of that internal spyware. So that takes us to the second step. So we already did this. We went back to basics. We mapped absolutely everything. And then we said, like, okay, what can we think should be the best way forward? And then this brilliant idea came to mind. He's like, oh, what if we do an engine that tells people what your next product is going to be? I know, revolutionary, you'll say. But believe it or not, it's not that simple to do. So we started pretty simple. We say, okay, let's simple is better, would give us better signals. So how does that look like? So we divided our customers basically, or our cohorts, in basically 3 big groups. One of those groups were those that we assume that they were ready to purchase a product. Number 2 were those that were already in the process of purchasing a product. And number 3 were those that have just purchased a product. So we use all the data of those 5 million Australians and start to look for commonalities. How can I actually use these data to predict what they want next? And we came out with some sort of like algorithm. It's a longer conversation, or you can have it afterwards. And this algorithm was very simple. The algorithm was simply saying, if this person has inquired or purchased X product, we wait some time and we send them to Y product. And that was it. Frequency of the conversation was very linear, time-based, nothing fancy. The same happened with the message. It was very transactional message, buy now, compare now, switch now, do it right now. And the channels that we use were very traditional. Again, we have a big digital website experience, but we have to take a comprehensive look at all the nudges we're giving our customers from different parts of the journey. Sounds simple, nothing revolutionary, but guess what? We get 2 times the engagement that we used to have before. With nothing fancy. A lot of work behind it, a lot of testing behind it, but already proved that we were on the right path. Also, another thing is that we are not consumable goods. Our product portfolio is not that big. So if you implement this strategy and go rinse and repeat, where do you leave your loyalty, retention, customers coming back, and so on? So we said, okay, we have proved that we now can understand what would be the right product for our customers. But we definitely failed in completing the holy grail of marketing and personalization. We don't have the right channel, we don't have the right time. And that made us move to the 3rd step. We call that previous matrix next best product. We name it a lot of creativity went into the name. So we decided, okay, we have decided, we know now what the best product is going to be. So now how are we going to actually enable our customers or how are we going to find the right channel and the right time and enable our customers to jump into Club Plus, to actually find the right information at the right time based on the needs in this big dashboard. So we went a little bit, again, back to basics. We've all been here. We know the customer life cycle. You're unaware, you're aware, you're browsing, you're ready to purchase, and so on. So we've now divided our cohorts into that. And then the question was okay, but how are you going to know that someone is unaware of a product or is aware of a product? And we devised what we call the readiness score. So again, imagine the back end of this, a lot of data matching, data points that went into this. And say, you know what? Let's do it. You're not going to have the number. Maybe you will never do. Put a line on the sand. Just go. The test will let you know. The tests will guide you. Also, at the same time, in terms of frequency, we say, okay, how can we test it out? And we started using intelligent timing as well from Brace to see how it goes. And it actually created very, very nice signals that we could actually then convert into what was the right timing to talk to our members. In terms of messaging, we change our message as well based on each one of these life stages. So we did, we have educational, nurturing, more product-focused or product educational kind of material, transactional as well. And then I'm not talking too much into people that were in funnel in the process of buying or post-sale, because they have their own set of rules. And lastly, in terms of channels, we became agnostic. So everything that we do and how we target customers was actually moving across different channels. So after a few months of testing, we got 4 times the engagement that we used to have with the previous model. Now, we can certainly say that we kind of are tapping into the holy grail of personalization, which is right topic, right channel, right time. This is some examples of how a customer journey looks like, or what kind of materials do we share with them. You can tell the first one is very, do you maybe need health insurance? This is why. Number 2 is more around, okay, we know based on your readiness scores that sure, you're engaged, so maybe you are interested in health insurance. So let me talk to you a little bit more about it. Because I know you tick optical, or you tick dental in this case. Then we start explaining them the product a little bit deeper. You know that gold could be the same as silver plus, and so on. We keep going at the educational campaign, and then when we know they're ready to purchase and they have engaged with all this string of information and education, we basically go for the transactional one. You know what? It's time to compare. It's time to switch. And we stretch this all across our experiences. So we do it on content cards and SMSs and emails on our digital experience when someone is returning, when they log into their Club Plus as well. A little bit of a nugget that came from this, and it was that we were allowed, or we found a way to carve a better member profiling path. And that meant that we could put customers, based on their engagement and their frequency with us, in different buckets. These different buckets, they start to show you the way for a lot of things. Have you defined how you're properly going to measure one of the most difficult things to measure, which is lifetime value? Do you know if you want a rewards program? Do you know who do you want to reward and how and with much and why? But also at the same time, it allows you to keep constant contact with your customer to actually reach help him actually, or him or her, sorry, to help them actually continue the journey with you. Again, as I mentioned before, we are not highly consumable goods. So education and a lower frequency of touch points is what we were dealing with. So we work out a nine quadrant experience. Basically tells you a little bit of how many customers. Imagine you have like a goal of 10 engagement points. Some customers will reach those 10 engagement points in 30 days, some on 45 days, some on 90 days. You start working it out based on your business needs. That's how we did it. And now this is actually fitting the way we personalize our communications, the way we lay out our Club Plus experience. So how's the North Star going, just to finish up? It's going pretty well. We've done a lot of advancement in terms of how that North Star is looking like. Our customers can now upload all our invoices. We have what we call better deals let. So we actually run on the background and do the work for you. Just let you know when we found something better for you. They have a place where they can do that admin. You know, what have I quoted? What prices have you given me? Have I got the product? Have I not got the product? Also, at the same time, we're being able, and based on that graph that I showed you before, to target the perks, rewards experience unique to each one of the customers, and target unique content and tools for them. So if I know you don't have, I don't know, a home, why would I give you a calculator for your home loan? We have to wait for that readiness score to know that you're in the market, and then I will show you that calculator. So my final thoughts. This is small print. Start and stay controlled. Test, get validation, then spread. You will find that small bits, small steps in little corners of your experience will give you better signals than going fast and hard. Don't wait for things to be perfect. Start. You'll fix it along the way. All channels are important. Again, iterate and move from learning. Iterate and move your learnings to all your channels. Voice of the customer, listen and ask questions and ask better questions to your customers. They will guide your journey, and they will guide your journey to a journey with purpose. And lastly, we have a very advanced MarTech, but we realize that technology is only as good as the strategy behind it. Thank you.